And it's not looking good since he's gone out. White Knight's come in. He's played actually well, to be fair. But Creaton was probably the best AD carry in Europe at the moment.
And RNA was always the person to say he is the best AD carry in Europe. And when you lose something like that in your team, you lose such a major asset that White Knight, he has such big shoes to fill. And, you know, RNA, he started off the season so well, but it seems like people have finally understood how he plays and have been able to counter it because he hasn't been that aggressive early, hasn't been able to make those plays happen.
Well, the band's coming thick and fast here. Lysandra, Fiddlesticks, and Shen being removed. And Twisted Fate and Thresh. This does mean... Look at Kuban, he wants Elise to get through. So please, please don't ban Elise. Whatever you do, can I get it? I guarantee it would be first picked if it gets through. No. Look at the disappointment on his face.
Oh, man. I bet you if you looked over at Curbside, though, he's happy that Shen's banned out. He's like, yes, I don't have to play Shen. I can play like a damage champion top lane. So, you know, those bans, you know, pretty understandable. The Fiddlesticks, though, I mean, it's not something new. I mean, we've seen actually Jerry go 2 and 3 with this Fiddlesticks with like a 3.5 KDA, so he's done really well with it. And over in Korea, it's been played heavily. We saw actually MIG playing Blaze earlier on today, if you watched OGN, and Fiddlesticks was used every game.
Yeah, it's becoming a champion. I mean, it's a strong champion that we've seen used effectively from week 1 here in European LCS. We saw it was Darker a few times, and it seems to be working out well. We had Mithy obviously playing it last weekend with his surprise party Fiddlesticks effectively being the it's kind of like the taunt. He was going in using his ulti, everybody would pile on him, and then everybody else had the free time to pile in there. So it's definitely a champion, and it's interesting to see how it's come back into role as support. But Lee Sin has been locked in, and they immediately pointed across at RNA and went, ah, we got your champion.
I don't even know where that's going.
No.
I really don't. Makati, he plays like support type junglers. You know, Nautilus. It could. I don't even know if he's been working on that, but it could have been that secret champion he talked about to us in Tenerife. But, you know, Makati, he plays kind of support champions.
Whoa. Here comes Vi, back again.
I remember her back in the spring promotion tournament. She was played really heavily, banned out quite a bit because of that whole initiate she has, you know, the damage she has up front. But still, not 100% sure if that will be in the jungle, but it seems like a champion that really fits RNA's style. You're very mobile, you can get over walls to really create some opportunities, and then ultimate late game, or even early game, is just so hard to deal with when you're getting ganked.
Well, White Knight's going to have Varus, so we'll see where this goes. RNA seems in good spirits, but it's Meteor Makers taking the pick now. Makara and Sharu, what are they going to go with? Will it be the AD carry support? And we've seen, obviously, Zyra being used all the time on Libic. Will that get locked in there? Corki is going to come out. Okay, so this is 3.9, and Corki did receive buffs in this. And we were wondering whether it would start getting picked again, whether anyone would start going for it. We haven't seen it a great deal. I don't recall whether NA played it at all last night.
I don't believe so.
Didn't get to watch all of it. Not last night, the night before. I don't
even believe it's been played in any that much,
Days
to be honest.
Blend into one as well as champions.
But we actually heard, I think it was Blaze talking about it over in OGN, saying, you know, we looked at Corki, we looked at his numbers after the change, and he still doesn't seem that viable to us. So maybe, you know, maybe MYM could pull something out of their hats, but to me, I was surprised to see Vayne not picked up right away.
By Mackley, yeah.
That champion is just so strong. We know how good Macro is with his micromanagement, but Corki, you know, with 3.9, we'll get there. With 3.9, his mana costs were all reduced pretty much across the board, and his ultimate has that flat mana cost. You don't really need to build Mana Immune or even build towards a Trinity Force necessarily. And Demon, get it out. What do you want to say?
Just the bans, the picks that are coming through. What's going on? We got Ari offer for Ellen Lord. Suddenly Blitzcrank's come out again for the second game running. But now what the hell? We got Karthus and Fizz selected. What is going on?
Okay, I think we're going to see Charu on Fizz middle. No, I think we're going to see actually him on a middle, and then Kuban in a 1v2. Or maybe he will play Karthus, but still in a 1v2. I'm assuming that's where he's going to want to go with this, but
yeah, it's Charu Karthus. It's a champion he used to play a lot of. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be Charu Karthus, which tells me it will be Fizz in top, which we've seen Kiwi Kid doing definitely to Dignitas. So certainly recall that one off the top of my head in North America. It's a champion that has started to see the light of day in the top lane.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Fizz.
And now Zillion. What are you doing to me? These games, they're just not good enough. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, I mean, think back. We did actually see Meteor Makers bring out Zillion in the summer split with Charu. They had a Zac and a Nocturne combo, which was like the bomb delivery system. But unfortunately, they do switch over for him to that Kha'Zix and back to Zillion and Kha'Zix.
Well,
it's got to be Kha'Zix.
Yeah. It's a champion that was used last week as well by JWoww, if I recall, from
yeah, TCM. No, it was two games
TCM.
running.
Yep.
All right, so You know, I really want to know, where will this Karthus go? Because you're right, Charu does play him heavily, but to me, he's like the perfect champion to go in a 1v2 situation. We've seen Gragas really come into his own lately over, at least in Korea, starting to make its way over to Europe in terms of being in the 1v2 lanes, because you can hold really well, you can farm really well on top of that. So with the way it's currently sitting, they're actually going to send Kuban on Karthus and Charu on Fizz.
You were right. I bow to your knowledge.
We still got 30 seconds.
We have got 30 seconds. After the last game, I doubt myself anymore, to be honest, because I just don't know what's going on. Turns out that actually in the Fnatic camp that Yellowstar loves playing Shen, so as loves playing Blitzcrank, and they both hate playing the vice versa, so they just went...
Worked out well for them.
Let's just switch.
I'm actually looking at Charu's runes, and it looks like he will be keeping that Fizz. Actually has some really interesting setup. He has hybrid pen reds. So he has armor pen and the magic pen. Then he has magic resist flat yellows, and then even a couple of health quints, like flat health quints on yellows, and then of course just ability power per level blues. So he's looking to be really aggressive. I want to know if he's going 30-0, and looks like he actually will go 21-0-9. So unfortunately not going for that that build we saw Alex go in the spring split, I believe that was at the end.
So, crazy action potentially coming out once again. This time around, it's Alternate versus Meet Your Makers. It was the battle for first place in week 1 on the final day. But this time around, it's a battle really for Meet Your Makers to stay off that bottom of the league. Can they claw their way out of it? If they manage to pick up a win, they'll be equal with Evil Geniuses on the bottom of the table. They're still going to be bottom, but they're going to be equal.
They're going to be a shared bottom, so they won't be lonely.
They won't be lonely, that is true. Meanwhile, Ninjas in Pajamas managed to pick up their win. They're clawing their way back in there, and we just saw Fnatic, of course, take their victory, so now they are on the perch on top. NIP actually joint second with Gambit, I believe, as well now. And Alternate, can they keep the action going? Can they keep that top slot that they've actually had from week 1?
Yeah, I mean, you wonder, is there more pressure on Meet Your Makers for being the bottom of the table, trying to claw their way back up, or for Alternate, who looks so good throughout the entirety of the season, when they're slipping away from that first place? And I'm really curious what their outlook is on that.
Well, as the season's progressed, we've seen the spring split champions, Fnatic and Gambit, claw their way back into that top of the table, and then these new upstarts along the likes of Alternate certainly put some waves across the LCS. Many teams were saying, oh, it will, just don't worry, it will level itself out. The same old people will be at the top, but we're in week 7. There's only 2 more weeks to go after this one, and still, the old guard are not really in there. We saw Evil Geniuses take a loss to NIP today. That's going to be hurting for them with only, what, effectively 8 games, I think, remaining for them. That's definitely going to put them in stressful situations. Meet Your Makers almost certainly in that same situation, just effectively trying to stay in the league right now. But Aranea, he's pulled out Vi. It's a champion we saw on Shushay. The hook comes through from Jerry. Doesn't land on Makler. Did Makler see that fist splash through? Did his heart jump in his mouth?
I think so. I mean, that's why he's sitting on the side of the bush. He's like, if I don't sit middle, they're not going to pull me in. I mean, you're definitely right. Like, the newer teams have really stormed the entirety of Summer Split. Look over in North America, Cloud9. Without the results of yesterday, they're 17-2.
I think they're 18-2 now.
I didn't want to ruin anything for happened last night.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean,
but that's ridiculous. That's the best record we've ever seen in LCS so far, and they've taken their opportunity of getting into LCS and just have gone awry with it. Just they're so far ahead that they're pretty much guaranteed to be in that first place position come into the playoffs.
So let's look through the lanes, Jason, as things begin. So the blue buff, red buff being taken by Makana. So Makana, firstly, let's talk about these 2 junglers, because we've got Makana on Lee Sin, something we've not seen in the LCS so far, and Aranea, he's pulled out Vi.
Yeah, so, okay, well, we can talk about Makata. We talked about him in the picks and bans a little bit, how this isn't necessarily his type of jungler. You know, he likes to play support ties with Shen, you know, kind of Nautilus, even, I believe, Volibear once. But the thing is, we mentioned that they've been working on some new strategies here. They've been working on some new things, and this might exactly be it. But, you know, the Vi on RNA, that's kind of right up his alley in terms of the kind of champion he wants to use. Very aggressive, can make a lot of plays happen. It's pretty mobile. Not obviously as mobile as Lee Sin, but he can make some plays, definitely. Okay, so let's go through this top lane. The fact that they're not in a 2v1 to start with. Kerp on Kha'Zix, which has had changes, doesn't tend to level up. You can see the claws are out there as well. So he's leveled up his Q to begin with, it seems that Kerp has. Hasn't evolved the, he hasn't evolved anything yet because he hasn't hit level 6, but but that's effectively what he will be going towards. We expect maybe the jump. We're seeing Aranea coming towards the top.
but he's up against Kuban, who this is a perfect lane for him right now because he's just going to free farm his way to victory, surely.
Well, we'll get back to that in a second because right now they actually know where RNA is and they could go for a counter gank here. Kuban, he has exhaust. He could stop this damage coming in. RNA isn't particularly 100% healthy as he's letting those health pots roll in, but Makati's been very patient, waiting on the sideline for this engage to happen. It looks like it's about to begin.
He's charged up, he dives in, doesn't catch onto Kuban like he'd like to, and immediately the exhaust does go down an area. The flash comes out from Kuban. Is he going to have enough to defile down there? Will he get the double buffs? Yes, he does. He takes it away, and that is crucial. Kuban will be so strong right now, but in the bottom we see White Knight. He's taken low. J-Reed trying to do the damage back on towards Makler. Limit gets caught out. Aqua Prism thrown out. Doesn't quite land onto White Knight. But we gotta talk about them double buffs being given across is gonna be so hard on that top lane right now. A Karthus with double buffs, that's not good news for Kerp.
And the thing is that Kha'Zix should be able to do some good damage to a Karthus right off the bat, just because if you jump in, their Evolve Tree is actually going for it, he's gonna catch him!
Oh, Kerpskip jumped in there, he's gonna surely go down, yes he will! And the double buffs, just like that, get transferred. Teleporting away, he must have been in the shop, he didn't react, it took him so long. Makata tries to land the kick, not gonna happen. And just like that, fortunes favor alternate now, and we're seeing RNA. He's coming in, I don't think he's gonna be able to catch on towards Makata, he backs away. Wow!
It's that commentator's curse. Just as we talked about him having the double buffs, being so strong, gets shut down. Now Kerp has him, and the thing is, I don't know, is he gonna build a tier? Because obviously the tier was changed in 3.9, not as strong as it would be for most champions, but that double buff is going to make his farming so much easier. He's going to have such an easy time now in this lane.
Well, we didn't see JWL building it last week in Tenerife, so we'll see whether, like you mentioned, whether he does build for it. He is backing away. The hook lands, though, on towards Makler quickly like that. Have they got enough damage? He manages to Valkyrie away, and he just about escapes the damage. J-Reed hooking around the side. Can he get another hook on Libic? The wave is going to come through. His cooldown won't be off just yet, and he does manage to get away.
There's something big we actually didn't even notice just yet. Look at the farm in mid lane. As we do see the engage come out of Makati, I don't think it's going to make anything happen, but here goes Aranea.
Aranea comes back around the Ignite on towards Makati. He's getting taken low, but he is Lee Sin, and he just escapes no problem from that one. Charu also, he's taking some damage, and this is a back and forward trade. Aggressive game once again.
Yeah, so I mean, look what happened middle, where currently Charu has a CS lead over for Realm Lord when he's Fizz. Like, he can be auto-attack harassed quite well, and he's keeping up, which he should not be able to do right off the bat. Maybe around level 6 since he has that potential to kill you, but Charu's doing a phenomenal job in his Fizz so far.
Fantastic, fantastic stuff. The fact that he can keep up is got to be scary for Realm Lord, because once he gets that burst potential, he will be diving in. And Realm Lord, though, has got the ulti to escape very quickly. And then double buffs, we saw it still at the top. Kerp has them. He didn't go for the Dorans. The Dorans, he went for the Dorans plays. He didn't go for the Tear of the Goddess, though. So maybe, just maybe, that build is no more on Kha'Zix.
I think he's actually going to go into Maul Mortius a little bit later on. He's going to pick up a Hex Trigger when he's against this double AP. Then, of course, if Armenia picks up that Runic Bulwark, it's going to make him have quite a bit of ability power. But Makler, he has his flash, he has his barrier up, and he's Corki. So you don't have a lot of upfront damage in the beginning, but when you hit level 6, you kind of spike up, and you have that escape mechanism, which White Knight is currently lacking on that Varus.
But Varus is building up a bit of a CS advantage, and Jerry's doing a good job at zoning Makler out from this one. Keeping him well away while Libic's not there. Now Jerry's going to just back off a touch as Libic forces the pressure back on towards him. And look at that, Pink Ward was used by Alton to keep that bottom lane cleared. We are seeing Pharrell Nord possibly making a move, simply warding up the river. He could have gone down to the bottom, but it was already pinged out. So Meal Makers are prepared for that one, and Makata is going to go again in towards his top lane. See if he's successful. It worked last time, but then it backfired.
Yeah, but looks like he's actually going to bait him in here a little bit, and Makati's in position to stop this.
He's going to catch him out. Wall of Pain did manage to land, but Kerp jumped straight away from that one quickly. Should be able to get on towards the turret quick enough. Uses that ultimate. Oh, he's leveled up his ulti. I see, so he's taking the 40% damage reduction. Meanwhile, we are seeing Pharrell Lord getting on towards Charu. And nothing happening.
Yeah, so I can imagine why he did take that ultimate first, because the thing is, the AoE ultimate comes out of Kuban, it mitigates quite a bit of damage off of that. 40% reduction when you're in your stealth mode, so he's obviously going to be able to survive that upfront damage most likely out of Kuban. But we also have to remember, like Charu, a Fizz is very bursty. You add in a Karthus ultimate on top of that, and you're going to kill that person. So when we see that combo happen, it's going to be very deadly. And Makler, he's getting pulled in, like he's a baseball player now. He's catching quite well.
Catching him towards the midst of J-Ree, but that was Flash Barrier burnt out. So now that's surely going to give an advantage position. And maybe we're going to see, oh, Frontal's going to have to get the blue buff. We're going to see maybe Aranea coming down to pay a visit on that bottom lane. Valkyrie still, of course, for Makler, so he still has one escape mechanism, but not as great as having Flash Barrier. Looks like red buff's going to be given across to that AD carry of Makler, though, so his brother being generous still from the jungle.
And yeah,
Nope.
No, he actually kept it for himself. And Makler unfortunately wasn't able to pick that one up, but he's behind. You know, he's struggling in lane, and that's kind of because he's quirky. Like, he doesn't have a lot of early game presence in terms of, if he gets pulled by Jerry, he's gonna have a very tough time. It's a very long cooldown on Valkyrie, so he can't afford to be as aggressive. But he's still catch up. Like, he's not that far behind, and his poke can never be underestimated when we get to these team fights.
So, Charu, he picked up Sheen. He has got teleport. We haven't seen him using it just yet. He's up to level 7, so we'll see whether Fizz goes looking. Oh, that's going to be the Aqua Prison on White Knight, but Makler not there to respond, and Chain of Corruption quickly comes out. Here comes Aranea, but remember the Karthus ultimate could try and react to it. He does manage to slam Libic in the air. He will get himself the kill, but Charu does teleport in. We said he hadn't used it just yet. White Knight's going to go down. Makler pops him down with a phosphorus bomb, and it was a 1-for-1 trade, but that was a support for an AD carry. Meteor Maker's coming out on top.
Yeah, that was a good job by Kuban as well to apply that Karthus ultimate right away, knowing that Ultimate was trying to go for that 3-man gank. He wanted to kind of keep them off it, wanted to make them rethink and back off, and that gave Charu time to get down to that bottom lane and was able to turn that around. But Brown Lord, he's like, all right, I'm going to push middle, I'm going to get a lot of farm on you, and I'm going to get some damage onto your turret.
Well, Makana's just hit and run on the red buff there. So that's going to be Aranea's taken away from him. Lord, he's putting pressure on towards this mid lane. This is the difference, though. When you have that teleport, he does leave himself exposed, but now we're going to see Makana coming in, lands the charm down, puts a lot of damage on Makana. Makana still lands that Q, gets his Lee Syndrome going, dives in for it, and I'm not too sure it was the right choice to make, but of course, Lee Sin, he can survive anything.
Yeah, pretty much with how fast he is. Arne is actually just warding up. Kuban getting very low here, forced to pop the exhaust, but he's ignited.
He has got the exhaust down, the ignite's not quite going to be enough. And Kurt thought about it, I feel, there. Had got flash available, and with that passive he has, he could have had the bonus damage. Aranea is going to charge up, and they're going to start out the dragon. The fact that everybody from Meteor Makers had just backed away, this is prime time.
And they actually didn't even know that Makade wasn't there, so they're actually being very ballsy here, but it looks like they will be able to pick up for free, and that's honestly, that's a lot of gold that they can pick up, and they're not being punished for it. Like, no one's top lane pushing against them, no one's bottom lane pushing against them, and no one's even, like, pretty much getting free farm except maybe Chara, which in the end is countered by Kurt getting the top lane farm.
Yeah, so good turnaround from Alton, the charm landing on Charu. Charu using that playful trickster a little too quick to dodge out of that charm. So he got caught by it, and again, there's going to be his ultimate. Is it going to be enough to pop up? Earth pops out there. Charu steps to the side, doesn't get caught out by the charm, but didn't really have enough mana to finish off the combo.
Yeah, I mean, with the blue buff available, though, that cooldown on his ultimate isn't that long, so he would use it again in the next fight. But he's just trying to pressure Fromo. He's trying to make him lose a little bit of farm, kind of stop his progression that he's been currently working on. And it looks like Charu will come back to lane with just boots and a ward, so he hasn't been able to ramp up that ability power. And we actually haven't seen too much interaction out of Fromo, who typically, like, he's very aggressive in other lanes. He likes to gank, make those opportunities happen, but he's just been hammering home middle so far.
And since picking up that double buff in the top lane, Kurp's been doing a fantastic job. He's ahead of a Karthus in farm as a melee champion. That shouldn't be happening, really. Charu, again, eating a charm. Relnord happy to trade with Charu right now, despite the fact he manages to land that playful trickster on again. This time he will go aggressive, but quickly turns it around. Uses an ultimate. He does take him down. The passive bleed from Charu, just enough.
Wow, he flashed back into Relnord, making him think that he was just walking away from that last auto attack. He was able to get the kill on him, and that's the thing. He's playing Fizz without an ignite, which is usually like an all-in champion. You want to be able to dominate your lane. He was able to kill Frontline without using that, and he's able to get like a nice little bit of a lead. He's 1-0-1 right now. They still have a 1-1-1 Karthus, and they have one kill over to Makler. So even though they didn't look too strong early on, they're still doing really well.
Well, you know that Fizz is going to be kind of a pain in the backside. And as is Kuban on Karthus. Karthus will get strong no matter what you do to him. Kurp's trying their best to just minimize that, uses that passive again. He should have enough. His passive doing a good job. Flash is out of it this time. This time he finally finished off the deal. And that is now a 2-0 along with that Brutalizer starting to dominate the lane.
And that's him using his ultimate, the evolved ultimate really well, because the thing is he realizes if he wants to fight Kuban, he has to sit on top of him.
Yeah.
He has to sit on top of that Defile. So with that, reducing the damage by 40%, makes it so he can survive and still pick up those kills. So now Kuban's going to have a tough time here as Aranea. He's waiting for someone to visit this top lane. He has his ultimate available, and honestly, they could dive anyone that comes to this turret.
Well, here comes Charu. He's ready and waiting. RNA is going to charge up as soon as he comes in there. And look at that. Kurt pulls him away from the tower. Charu not taking any damage here, and he's just going to get dropped down. Clever play from Alternate. Kurt just pulling him away just at the right time to just bait him in.
And why would you need a tier on Kha'Zix when you get blue buff like this every time? It's the second one he's gotten in his lane, and he hasn't even built for that mana. So they're going to get the first turn of the game there in that top lane, and having a 3-0 Kha'Zix is very deadly. And also, they have a much stronger team at this moment, but Front's trying to get caught here. Markata coming in from the side, but it's an Ahri.
He's not going to get the Defile there. Lee Sin does try and come in. Yeah, like you say, he does have the ult, and that's another turret gone down. And this is the danger that Charu has with that teleport. He always runs it. Teams know that, and they're actually countering it very well. It's something we talked about right at the start. These new teams that came in, they had these gimmicks, and they will get countered. It's simple as that. Meteor Makers seem a little bit lost in the last few weeks as to how exactly to try and work that out. Yeah,
it's a lot of teams figured out that if we hold them back early on, we can keep them behind, and that's kind of been the story of Meteor Makers when we talked about them in the summer promotion, when we talked about them at the beginning of the season when they were doing extraordinarily well. But right now, I mean, teams are taking advantage of that, and Meteor Makers, I gotta give them credit. They've changed up their style a little bit. They have champions that we've never seen them really play, and it hasn't working out so well for them in this game, but they're only down 3,000 gold 14 minutes in.
The top lane, we are seeing, again, Kurt this time feeling very aggressive. Is he going to go 1v1 with, I almost said tabs there, but Charu on Fizz? It's ingrained in my mind. It always is there. But he's actually teleported down to the bottom. He's going to sneak in towards the bush and try and get a jump on towards White Knight and J-Reed. Oh, look at this. McKenna's coming as well. It's actually going to be a 4-on-2, but Pharrell Lord is already reacting.
I'm trying to think who will be stronger in this fight. Obviously, with Think Meteor Makers for having 4 people, but we're going to see what's going to happen here. The wave's got to be coming out a little bit to really start this fight off, or they're actually just going to show themselves. So they want to go for a 4-man push on this turret, but look who's heading down. So is RNA. They're going to have a 4-on-4 here, and this actually could be very bad for Meteor Makers.
The hook getting thrown out. Piercing Arrow is available. Chain of Corruption misses. He went towards Makana, but missed out there. Piercing Arrow does land, and they go aggressive. The Charm doesn't get through there. Pharrell's got one more dash available to him. Will he go for it? The wave catches Alternate perfectly there. Stops them all in the tracks, but you can see, we see RNA zeroing in on them. The Charm again flashing past Makler, didn't quite find its home, and it was a great response from Alternate. 4 members on 4 in that bottom lane, and they're going to get themselves that 3rd tower of the game. Meteor Makers knew it was coming, but look at this. It's another blue buff's being stolen away. Well, first time it was stolen from Charu, second time it's been taken away straight from the buff itself.
I think Kurp's been keeping Kuban pretty much at his own turret. Like, he's been forcing him back to that tier 2 turret, and that's given him so much for free farm. And the thing is, he's not even being punished right now for being pushed up this far.
Playful tricks. I'm not sure if that actually went wrong or whether he cancelled it because he saw the blue buff wasn't there.
He's going to give him
the benefit of the doubt.
But yeah, I mean, Kurp, he's 3-0. He's got that Hex Drinker done. He's going to be a real threat. And right now, I don't even think Alternate even needs to group up for these team fights. They can just keep split pushing like this, keep these ganks happening, keep picking up objectives left and right, because their gold lead is slowly starting to slip ahead for them quite further. And even have the Abyssal picked up for Pharrell Lord against this double AP composition.
Well, the Dragon is up in 15 seconds, and Alternate are the ones that are positioning themselves for it. They have all 5 members down here. They may have to give up that top tower, but honestly, Akarthus doesn't push towers that quickly, so maybe they won't. They don't have a teleport, though, so they're not going to be able to react that quick. They don't have an Oracle either, so they can't see that ward that's giving their position away. The rest of Alternate are coming in. Are we going to see some fancy shenanigans from Makata? He is going to go in. Does he get the steal? Yes, he does. Can't get out of there, but it doesn't matter. They got themselves a top turret as well. Livik is going to go down to Kurp. Kurp's going to jump on towards Makler. He Valkyries away, and Kurp just walks straight through the flames. The top tower went down, and the Dragon for Meteor Makers. They lost 2 members to it, but I think they're happy with them objectives.
Oh yeah, they've got to be happy with that. That was a phenomenal job by Makata doing that. Stealing that away from RNA. Didn't even get his smite off, and right now, I mean, Meteor Makers, that was exactly what they needed. And now, there's something that Alternate kind of has been doing in the past, and there's a game versus Lemon Dogs they did this where Zorzer was playing Rise, where they take the top turret fairly early on, but they leave him alone to farm. And right now, Kuban, considering he's 1-2, you have a 4-0 Kurp, he's not being pressured that much anymore. And if he's allowed to keep farming up his damage, his pressure is going to become even higher in these team fights. But also, it looks like, all right, well, we're just going to try to end the game early right now. And Meteor Makers, they don't have amazing wave clear without Karthus there. So it's really hard for them to defend against a 4-man push out of Alternate or even a 5-man push.
Lord is backing off the side there. Playful Trickster will catch him out. And look at the burst coming straight out. Chari throws out Herb. Not quite going to land, though. But immediately they have to flash back on. The Ignite comes out. There's going to be Requiem. It's not enough to take down Pharrell Lord. But it was Alternate that picked up the kill once again. Charu going down. They're not done yet. Curb jumps on towards McKenna. Tries to safeguard away. The Ignite's going to tick down. And that's a second kill for Alternate.
And they just keep getting caught out left and right. I mean, well, you call them getting caught out, but Alternate still at the same side of that token is that they're taking advantage of that. They have superior coverage around the map. I mean, it's not that much, but it's enough to know where everyone in Meteor Makers is, and every time someone steps out of line, they just turn it around into a kill. They're gonna get another turret for free here.
Oh, flash hook coming out from Jerry, and it forces a flash from Kubon. Some highly mobile fights coming out here. The Aqua Prison does land on Aaron Air. That turret is going to go down. Meteor Makers do what they can to force them back, but it's another objective for Alternate. And they're now 4-1 up in turrets, 9-3 up in kills. Alternate with a big lead now over Meteor Makers.
And you look at items right now, Demon. Just look what we have across the map for both teams. There's only one major completed item for Meteor Makers, which is that Spirit of the Elder Golem. Ancient Golem, close enough. Elder and Ancient, same thing. But you look on the other side for Alternate, you have an Abyssal Scepter, you have the Spirit item done, you have the Blade of the Rune King. Like, you have completed items, which is making Alternate even stronger in these team fights. And right now, Kerp, with that 1,600 gold he's sitting on, he can buy whatever he needs to when he backs.
Lord, he's just split pushing off, just like Froggen did against NIP. Didn't quite work out, but almost did. But he's quite happy continuing to free split push down that bottom lane. Immediately puts those orbs around him. We expected Charu to go aggressive, but Charu on Fizz right now, he's not been that effective. He's been trying to get in there, but every time Alternate seems to have a counter for him.
Yeah, and speaking of counter, like Pharrell Lord, he normally goes straight into DFG as his first item, but he changed around his build order with the Abyssal. Now it looks like he's going DFG right after that, because he knows as long as he survives that upfront burst out of Charu, he's going to be able to put a lot of pain down. And so far, as you saw in that last fight when Charu went up middle and caught him, he survived it and was even able to turn around into a kill on a Charu.
We may have that head-to-head right now. There's the Abyssal. Charu steps back off the side there. Is he going to wait in the bushes? Nope. Just going to back away. So that tells me that actually Charu doesn't fancy they were head-to-head right now, because he didn't go aggressive, didn't really have any vision of the rest of the team. We do see Jerry with that Oracle clearing out the wards that got put back down in the banana bush by Libic. And while this is happening, you mentioned it earlier on, Kubon, he's still off in that top lane, getting some free farm going.
Yes, he's got that Malma Mortis done, and you know, honestly, I actually want to talk about the Oracle that we see on J-Ray, because it's a Blitzcrank. So having a 20-minute Oracle, you're relatively early. Obviously, with the changes to 3.9, you keep it after death. It only has a 4-minute length right now, but the thing is, it's a Blitzcrank. So if you can't get an Oracle to clear out vision, if you let the other team get vision against you, you're going to see a pull out of him, and you're going to see someone on your team dying, and we actually might see that happen right now with Makade.
Makade's going to walk straight in there. There's the hook, pulls him straight back in. Can he safeguard? Libic's hanging around. He's like, come on to me, but Curve instead picks himself up the 6th kill of the game.
Phenomenal job by them. I mean, that's just using their champions, using the items exactly how they need to in front of him. He's getting caught with that ultimate, but it's not that much damage.
Oh, and he just dashed away at the right moment. Playful Trickster not quite finding the home. And Charu once again unsuccessful in landing the kill on towards Pharrell. Pharrell still sticking around there. And as it stands, Alternate are in a prime position. They're trying to set the bait up. The hook doesn't quite land from this time from Jerry, though.
Yeah, and what Alternate's doing right now is very smart. It's actually something that Evil Geniuses maybe should have done in their game against NIP, is that, I mean, Pharrell, he doesn't have a teleport, but he can't be 1v1 by anyone on the other team right now. So he can just split push all day long, got a free turret off of that, and as long as Alternate is smart and can disengage a fight at Baron when they need to, considering they have the vision anyways, then Alternate can just slowly whittle down Meteor Makers.
And they're sat waiting to see if they can create one of those plays. If Kubon goes up towards that top stack of minions, expect to see Curve there, and yeah, straight away they pinged him, they saw him with that top ward, and he's not going to fall for that one. Has evolved his wings now, and hasn't quite got to the claws just yet. Nevertheless, Makler trying to get some farm, trying to keep going. He is ahead. He's the only person actually ahead in terms of CS right now. He has got the Infinity Edge. We see Charu, he can wipe up those waves quickly, but he needs to be more impactful. Charu's normally the man that creates the plays, and straight away, once again, we're going to see Kubon jumped on. That exhaust is not going to last long enough, and he's going to go down. Teleport comes in from Charu, but Curve's already leapt away.
That's the evolved wings right there. I mean, you cannot lock him down. And the thing is, look at how scary he is. He's 7-0, but has evolved his Q, which is going to be his main damage source. Hasn't even done that yet, and he can still hit that hard and still 1v1 Karthus. He can 1v1 pretty much anyone, as well as Front Lord Cannon. They're just a real terror. Now, Arnia going in deep here, but his team isn't there just to back him up, and that exhaust, like, that's a huge thing. They need that up. They need that to stop Kurt. They need that to stop Front Lord's damage, but they both are, they have both of them down currently, and Alter's like, all right, we'll go for Baron here. We have the vision, we have the control, we have the damage. We're just going to take that on you.
And they know both exhausts are down. There's not really a great deal that MYM Makers can do, because we're going to see Makata, can he get the steal? He managed to get on the Dragon, but Lord immediately chases him down, tries to lock him out, doesn't manage to get the charm, but he buys his team long enough. There goes the Ignite, the orb's coming through. Oh, Flash fails, doesn't manage to get through there, and that kill was finally completed by Lord. The Baron is on alternate right now. They're in prime position to take this game and lock it out.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even need to wait for higher levels. I mean, Front he's 16, has his Ring-Themed ultimate. You look at Charu, he's 14, so he doesn't have that available, which is actually a lot of damage. And right now, look at this top lane. Kuban's level 13. He is so far behind in terms of in levels, and not to mention items, because Ultra's been doing such a great job of keeping him down. And considering he got double buffs right off the bat, he should have had his lane.
Well, Charu's continued to push. I don't think he realized they were on Dragon, and now Kerp and Aaron are going to come around behind him. He's going to jump straight in there. Has he got enough, or is it the bait that he's after? That's the question. Aqua Prison comes in, surfing the tide there. Limit manages to throw the waves out. Have they got enough? You see Makler backing it up. He flashes in, doesn't have the damage, and just like that, the burst comes out. Is the Requiem, and not enough as well. But there is a bomb coming out from Makler. Does find his target. They do pick up a tower as well off the back of it, and that is going to give MYM Makers just a glimmer of hope, but it's only a glimmer. Flash Chain of Corruption forced by another Flash. Requiem, oh, that's not going to catch him. That's going to be the exhaust down towards Makler. The hook is yet to be used. No, he hooked a minion in, I believe. Didn't quite land it, but White Knight has got the count. Piercing arrow comes through. Makler goes down.
Yeah, just as he said, a glimmer from MYM Makers. I was like, robots don't believe in glimmers. They don't see them because they turn that around. And now Front being aggressive on Kuban here. Remember, Kuban's low on mana. He's not even that strong right now.
He's got no mana, like you said. There's nothing he can do, but maybe Makata can. He comes in, the charm comes in, finishes the job. Requiem goes down. He wants another. He's actually put the Aqua Prison on for Lord inside. The lay wasters coming out from the dead passives of Kuban, but it's not to be again, and the claws are out by Kerp.
Oh, that is just a dangerous sound to hear out of a Kha'Zix who's already 7-0-1 right now. Last Whisper in hand as his next major item. Also, it's up to them to lose this game right now. They're trying to catch up Char, which Kerp, he could destroy him if he was actually able to lock him down.
Well, he did manage to use his ulti to slow him, forces him to flick away, and it does buy time for Alternate in this mid lane. Throws out Earth, goes on towards Lord, but not really the respectable damage. Tries to use the playful trickster to bait them in, and instead baits himself, gets killed in the process, and that's an 8-0-1 Kerp. He's loving life outside of Shen.
His KDA's got to be feeling really good right now as well on top of that, but they're just going to push for this inhibitor here, and MYM Makers, they have to give this one up. They're not out of this game just yet, because with that inhibitor down, they will have free farm from these other lanes. Look at your minimap currently right now. Top lane's pushed up, bottom lane's pushed up, and that gives them a lot of farm that they need for these fights, but it also puts the pressure on where those Supermans are pushing bottom, and Alternate, all they need to do is just wait it out.
They find a target. Makata just gets melted as he walks in there. The fact that the silence came out from J-Ree, he was dead before that 1 second was up.
I think he was dead on his way in. He was still like flying in with his Q as he got destroyed. And Alternate looking very strong. I mean, they're up pretty much 11,000 gold right now. His brother actually might go down to Makler here.
He may get talked out, but look at Kerp. He comes leaping in. The exhaust goes down. It doesn't matter. Gets the reset. Jumps back away. Chain of Corruption on towards Kuban. Aaron Air comes in. Finishes the job. White Knight gets the kill. And now J-Ree tracks down the big Libic. I don't think he's going to call the Koi Cup. Will manage to avoid this one, but only because they let him live.
Yeah, they're just like, we want you to know we could have killed you. But instead, we're going to let you get away. And also, they're just snowballing this game out of hand. I mean, I really wonder, looking back to how this game started, if Kuban didn't die with double buffs, would it have been a lot different? And I really think there was a possibility for it, because that means he would have been able to pressure Kerp quite a bit, who is really like the strongest man on their team.
Well, there was a shutdown. It was Charu who managed to finally get the kill on White Knight, but he does escape as well. That's a 3-8. That was a Baron buff as well, worn out on him as well, but I don't think he's the one to worry about right now. It's that man on your screen there, leaping around with wings. 9-0-2. And I love to see a Kha'Zix played well.
You just love Kha'Zix, period.
I love that champion.
It's your most favorited champion versus your most hated champion with these. So you're so happy on the inside right now to see this happen.
This is good to see. It's good viewing, honestly, as well, guys.
Oh,
Not just me. Makla's going down. Frontload catches him out, and this seems to be the story of the game now. Everybody getting caught out of position. Meteor Makers trying to create situations, and Charu is just not in the right position to make it. We see Frontload poking off, trying to throw out those orbs, catching them. I've said many times that he loves to play with his orbs, but right now it's working out for him.
And look how aggressive Alternate's being. I mean, this is a 2v5 situation pretty much right here, 2v4, and they just don't care. They're pushed up when the rest of the team is not even near. It looks like they will go for a push on this top lane, and Charu, yeah, you better not go towards that tower to defend it. You're gonna die, and wow, that damage though.
But he goes in, gets the burst. Is it gonna be enough? No, it's not, because he gets locked up. Air beating him down, and J-Re picks up the kill. He's trying to overdrive his way away from this one. He is going to get caught out, and this time we're going to see Kubon. He gets locked up. Kurt picks himself up another for free, along with the tower, and now Libic. He's trying to get away, but you can see the passive coming out from Kurt. His ultimate is going to speed him up. Libic's doing what he can, throwing out the waves. He does manage to slow him down. He's got a red buff. Kurt comes in. Makta tries to lock him down. The big bomb, not enough. And we do see Makata not quite catching on. This is a dangerous, dangerous game they're playing. They're losing their entire base while this happens. The inhibitor is about to go down. Makata simply Kurt buying him time, and he does eventually go down the shutdown bonus, but it doesn't matter because the game is over, and Alternate are gonna be the winners against Meteor Makers. It's 22-7, but that's not what counts. It's all about those Nexus turrets going down. They're gonna back away this time though. They're not gonna finish it. Why?
Well, they don't have their damage dealers. I mean, Kerp's dead, Frontload's dead. They can't really afford to go for it, and they know there's no point in throwing the game right now. Remember what's at stake right now, Demon, is that they're in first, well, they're actually not in first place anymore. They will be, yeah. But the thing is, like, they're up towards the top. They've been on a really bad spiral lately, and this win will mean so much to them because they realize, you know, we have to get into playoffs without our star AD carry, and which they praise constantly. And Meteor Makers, they're looking for this win to just kind of keep themselves in the running, and right now, Alternate just gonna play it safe. There's no reason to, you know, celebrate early. There's no reason to throw the game when you have a guaranteed win.
Well, the broken hand is about the same as having a broken leg in any other sport. It's going to put you out for a long time. The lobster comes out, but it wasn't ready, and Orf just pops himself up, and Lord laughs at it. Actually taunted there.
I thought you were actually going to make the Urf sound for a second. There you go. That's actually pretty good. Did you do the voice acting for it?
I wish.
But it looks like Alternate, they're actually just going to wait for another Baron to end the game out, which will be coming up in about 5 seconds. And with the Superman's pushing middle, the Superman's pushing top, there's nothing really Meteor Makers can do about it. Makata, I think, he's
cancelled
ballsy.
it. I think they were both meant to cancel it, and they was like, oh, you've left me here. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kubon. Baron is going to go to Alternate, though. Given for free, nothing at all Meteor Makers can do about that one. And they are still yet to have a member over 10,000. Meanwhile, Alternate now 3 members, already 10,000 plus. Big goal differences here for Alternate. They are just close to 14,000 gold ahead. And sure enough, they're going to roll in through the mid lane with the super minions hooked in there. You can see Kubon getting slam dunked down. They do see the Aqua Prison, though. It's going to slow him down, but Aranea, honestly, is pretty tanky right now, can take all that damage. There's only one Nexus turret. Makata goes too deep. He's going to get caught out. It's going to be a White Knight that picks up the kill. Sonya's hourglass from Frontload, it's going to be enough. White Knight picks up a second. You see Kerp, he picks himself up another kill, and it is just Charu, the last man standing, thinking, where the hell did my team just go? Kubon gets the kill with the Requiem on White Knight, but that is going to be the final Nexus turret going down. They're just baiting Charu around. Look at the burst coming out. The hook gets dodged out from the playful Trickster, and finally, this time around, if they can pad out the KDA anymore, they will, but it is Alternate to take the win against Meteor Makers. And well, just like that, they let Lee Sin go through. Makata picked it up. Aranea wasn't bothered. He had a Vi in his pocket.
And he was pretty happy with that. I mean, the champion worked out really well for them. Their whole comp, if he could land that ultimate onto one person, you follow that up with the pull or even the ultimate out of Varus, and you would lock someone down and blow them up right away. But their whole comp, they had so much damage. They had so much tankiness out of Aranea, which you saw at the end because of how fed he was, that they could just deal with anything Meteor Makers threw at them.
We saw just the belt coming out there. It was actually Aranea putting his belt back on. I don't know whether he's using it in the same sense that we see Gru from Gambit, maybe. Maybe it's a belt that needs applying, and it is Alternate that did pick up the win. So that takes them top of the table once again.